What if the very things you're sharing with your family are actually stealing your peace after 65? As we age, wisdom tells us not everything needs to be spoken, especially when it risks our happiness, independence, or dignity. In this video, we're revealing 5 surprising secrets that seniors should never share with family if they want to enjoy a peaceful, stress-free retirement. Number 3 will truly surprise you. Curious? You should be. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe for more thoughtful content that helps you live smarter and age gracefully. Let's dive in and protect your golden years with confidence and clarity. Lesson 1. Don't share every detail of your finances. Protecting your peace, one boundary at a time. As we step into our golden years, one of the most powerful lessons we can learn is this: peace doesn't come from what we give away, it comes from what we choose to keep for ourselves. And nowhere is that more true than when it comes to our finances. It's natural to want to be transparent with our family. After all, trust and love are built on openness, right? But as we grow older, financial transparency can sometimes create more confusion than clarity, especially when shared without limits or boundaries. You've spent decades building your nest egg, managing your money, and planning for retirement. Whether that includes pensions, savings, investments, or real estate, it represents more than just numbers. It represents your independence, your choices, and your years of hard work. But when you begin to share every detail of your financial picture with family, especially adult children or extended relatives, you may unintentionally open doors you didn't mean to. Think about this. Have you ever shared something with a loved one only to later feel like it changed how they saw you? Maybe they started offering unsolicited advice. Or worse, maybe they assumed access to resources that weren't theirs to begin with. Suddenly, your money becomes our money in their eyes. This is not about mistrust. It's about protecting your peace and preserving your autonomy. Transparency has its place, but discretion can be just as powerful, especially when you want to maintain balanced relationships. For example, if your children know exactly how much you have saved or invested, they may start anticipating inheritance. That shift in perspective, even if subtle, can change how they interact with you. Not necessarily out of greed, but out of human nature. Financial disclosure can unintentionally create expectations, even among the most well-meaning families. In some cases, you might start feeling like your choices are under a microscope. Questions may arise like, "Why did you buy that?" Or "Shouldn't you downsize?" These seemingly harmless comments can chip away at your sense of freedom. And you deserve to enjoy your money without explanation, guilt, or judgment. Of course, this doesn't mean hiding everything. Responsible planning often includes informing a trusted person about the location of key documents or assigning a financial power of attorney. That's smart. What's not smart is giving away your financial privacy in the name of love, especially when it compromises your comfort or creates stress. So what can you do instead? You can share only what's necessary. Keep things general. Let your family know that you've made arrangements, that your needs are covered, and that professionals are involved. That provides reassurance without full exposure. Remember, privacy is not secrecy. It's self-respect. In fact, many seniors find that having financial boundaries actually improves relationships. Why? Because it creates space for genuine connection. When money isn't part of every conversation, families can focus on what truly matters: time together, shared memories, and mutual care. Lesson 2. Avoid discussing every health issue. Because your health is personal, not public. Let's be honest, aging comes with its fair share of challenges, especially when it comes to health. Aches and pains, medications, doctor visits. It can feel like your body is writing a whole new chapter every day. And when you're living through it, talking about it feels natural. But here's the surprising truth: sharing every detail of your health with your family can sometimes do more harm than good. It's not that your family doesn't care. Of course they do. But when conversations are constantly filled with symptoms, conditions, and new medical updates, it can shift the energy of your relationship, sometimes in ways you didn't expect. Think about this. Do you want your family to see you as the person you are, or the illness you're managing? It's a powerful question. Because when health updates dominate every phone call or visit, it can unintentionally create a narrative that says, "This is all I am now." And that couldn't be further from the truth. You are so much more than a diagnosis. You are experience, wisdom, humor, stories, advice. You are strength in ways younger people haven't even imagined yet. But when your health becomes the headline, your identity begins to shrink. And sometimes, your family's view of you does too. Now, this doesn't mean hiding important issues. If something serious is going on, of course your loved ones should be informed. They may even be part of your care plan. But there's a big difference between sharing for support and oversharing out of habit, when every meal turns into a rundown of medications or every conversation leads back to discomfort. Your family might begin to feel helpless, overwhelmed, or even emotionally distant. Not because they don't love you, but because they don't know how to fix it. And many times, when people feel they can't fix something, they start to back away emotionally. Instead, try sharing in a way that's honest but limited. You might say, "I've had a few health challenges lately, but I'm focusing on the positive." Or, "The doctor's keeping an eye on things. And I'm staying active." This lets your family know you're aware, responsible, and optimistic, all without giving them the emotional burden of every detail. Here's another reason to pause before oversharing. It keeps you in control of your narrative. You get to choose how people see you, not just as someone managing illness, but as someone still fully engaged in life. Talk about the books you're reading. Share your dreams. Laugh. Tell stories. Teach something new. Those are the things your family will remember and cherish. In fact, many older adults who reduce how much they talk about health find their relationships become warmer, deeper, and more fun. That's because they've reclaimed space in the relationship for joy, not just concern. Lesson 3. Keep regrets from the past private. Because what's behind you doesn't need to burden what's ahead. As we grow older, memories seem to rise more often. Some are sweet and nostalgic, like the sound of your child's laughter, a favorite family meal, or a summer long gone. But others carry more weight. Missed opportunities. Harsh words spoken. Mistakes made years, or even decades ago. And when we feel those old regrets stir within us, it's tempting to unburden them to those closest to us. But here's the truth. Not every regret from your past needs to be passed on to your family. It's natural to want to be transparent. You may believe that by sharing your regrets, you're being honest or even teaching a life lesson. But all too often, what we think is a confession becomes a burden someone else never asked to carry. Consider this: are you sharing to heal yourself, or are you unintentionally hurting someone else? That question may sound harsh, but it's important. When you reveal regrets, especially ones involving family members, it can change how they see you, or how they see themselves. A comment like, "I wish I had spent more time with you growing up," or "I regret staying in that marriage," might come from a place of pain, but it can also stir guilt, confusion, or sadness in someone who simply wanted to share a cup of tea and hear about your day. The past is powerful. And while reflection is healthy, not every reflection needs an audience. Some regrets are best kept in private journals or shared with a counselor or trusted friend, not passed down to children or grandchildren who may not have the emotional tools to process what they're hearing. There's also something quietly beautiful in choosing not to pass your pain forward. When you carry your regrets with grace and choose instead to focus on the present, you model strength, resilience, and self-awareness. You give your loved ones the gift of peaceful connection, not emotional weight. It doesn't mean pretending everything was perfect. It simply means accepting that some lessons are meant to be lived, not taught. You've already learned them, there's no need to relive them. Sometimes we think that if we share our regrets, our family will understand us better, maybe even forgive us. But true connection often comes from what we build in the now, through kindness, laughter, presence, not from revisiting wounds that have already scarred over. Instead of saying, "I wish I had been there more," say, "I'm so glad we're close now." Instead of "I regret my choices," try, "I've grown a lot, and I'm proud of who I've become." Those shifts in language can turn sorrow into strength and turn your story into one of hope, not heaviness. Lesson 4. Limit sharing your will or estate plans in detail. Because protecting peace is more important than predicting inheritance. Planning for the future is wise. It's responsible. It shows love and care for the family you've built over a lifetime. But when it comes to your will, estate, and financial legacy, there's one truth many people only realize too late. The more you reveal now, the more tension you may unintentionally create. You may believe that being completely transparent about who gets what will prevent confusion later. But for many families, too much information too soon can actually plant the seeds of division, not unity. Why? Because money changes things. Even when love is strong and intentions are good, discussing inheritance too early or in too much detail can shift family dynamics in ways that are hard to reverse. Once people know who gets what, even subconsciously, they may begin to see things differently. Siblings might start comparing. Children may form silent expectations. Some may feel overlooked, while others start making future plans based on assets that don't even belong to them yet. And all of this can happen long before anything has been signed or finalized. Ask yourself, is sharing these details creating clarity? Or stirring up curiosity, competition, or even quiet resentment? It's a difficult but honest question. The truth is, your estate plan is deeply personal. It reflects your values, your priorities, and sometimes, difficult decisions. But it is your plan, not a topic that requires open discussion or approval from others. You are under no obligation to explain every choice you've made, whether it's why one child receives more support, why a family heirloom goes to a grandchild, or why certain assets are directed to charity. You've made your decisions thoughtfully, and that should be enough. Instead of discussing every detail, focus on setting expectations without specifics. You might say, I've worked with a professional to ensure everything is in place, and everything will be handled fairly. That provides reassurance without opening the door to endless questions or judgments. Also, remember that estate planning is about more than just dividing possessions, it's about protecting peace. The goal is not only to distribute assets, but to ensure your family remains intact when you're no longer here to hold it together. Sometimes, a little privacy today prevents a lot of pain tomorrow. Of course, there are situations where sharing is necessary, like informing an executor, or making sure someone knows where important documents are. That's smart. But beyond that, consider keeping the specifics of your estate confidential until the appropriate time. Because in the end, what your family will treasure most won't be what you gave them in your will, it will be the love, lessons, and memories you shared while you were still here. Lesson 5. Don't reveal personal relationship grievances. Because some bridges are best left untouched. As we age, reflection becomes second nature. We think about the people we've loved, the ones who disappointed us, and the complex relationships that shaped our journey. Sometimes, those reflections turn into stories we want to share, especially with our children or grandchildren. But when those stories carry bitterness, blame, or old pain, it's worth asking, does sharing this heal anything, or does it harm more than it helps? One of the most delicate lessons to learn after 65 is this: not every personal grievance or emotional wound needs to be shared with family. Whether it's resentment toward a spouse, disappointment in a sibling, or anger at an old friend, some burdens are better handled privately or with a professional, not passed down through generations. You may feel that talking about your struggles with others, especially family, offers clarity, honesty, even closure. But too often, airing personal grievances, especially late in life, reopens old wounds and causes emotional confusion for those who hear them. Imagine telling your adult child something like, "I never truly felt loved in my marriage," or "your uncle betrayed me in ways you'll never understand." These words might feel freeing to say in the moment, but they can plant emotional turmoil in someone who wasn't part of that history. They may begin to question relationships they thought were whole. They may feel torn between loyalty and confusion. And in some cases, they may carry that emotional baggage far beyond what you intended. Ask yourself, are you sharing to be understood, or are you unintentionally transferring your pain to someone who didn't cause it? It's an important distinction. There's nothing wrong with processing the past, but the audience you choose matters. Trusted friends, therapists, or even private reflection can help you work through personal grievances in ways that don't damage family harmony. Family, especially younger generations, benefit most from seeing you at peace with yourself and with others. That doesn't mean pretending everything was perfect. It means recognizing that you can acknowledge your past without letting it define your present. You can choose grace over grudges. In fact, keeping certain grievances to yourself can be an act of deep love. It protects your family from picking sides, from carrying pain they can't fix, and from inheriting emotional tension they never asked for. You give them the freedom to build relationships with others based on their own experiences, not yours. This doesn't mean you have to be silent about your life. Share your lessons, your values, your growth. Tell stories that uplift, that teach, that inspire. But leave the heavy shadows of personal conflict behind. Where they belong, remember, what you leave behind emotionally can matter more than what you leave behind materially. Your legacy isn't just what's in your will, it's the emotional climate you create for your loved ones in your final chapters. Conclusion. Before you go, take a moment to reflect, did even one of these lessons speak to your heart? If so, we'd love to hear from you. Which secret surprised you the most? Which one made you think twice about your own life or relationships? Your story could inspire someone else reading the comments right now. If this video helped you even a little, please share your feedback below, it means more than you know. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more uplifting, thoughtful content just like this. Your wisdom, your presence, and your voice all matter here.